Devin says, "Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm at Avon Health for biomedical charge. I'm not skiing. Oh, school. Oh, I thought skiing. I'm like, I was like, why would he be skiing? And I don't know.
Yeah, he's skiing. He just left class to go skiing.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is get your notes out, and we're gonna talk about a couple things.
Are we doing like practice stuff yet? MCQ.
We never did that in Totagora. All right. For the powers, for any series, you can manipulate. Okay, you can manipulate. What the hell are you laughing at?
No. Nothing.
Not the door text back. Looks text back at you. What the hell?
It's funny, so.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, Sean Anderson just spent $30 on the.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You spent 30, I went double.
On the socks?
Well, yeah, I bought myself a pair. I bought my sister a pair, and then I bought myself like a sweater. It's a nice sweater though.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I just listen to the music.
Oh my god. If that guy's not rich enough, you just.
No.
Look at the money from that.
He's a nut job.
From his contract.
Sorry,
He started
he's actually like crazy. Have you seen his videos? Like I don't know. I think he's like gone psycho.
Okay, let's talk about the thing. So I'm gonna write out first most important. Oops, my bad. The most important series, which is most important series that you need to know for ABC exam. So the one that you had to memorize. So you have to memorize. If you need a index card, this is the one that you have to know. So 1 over 1 minus x. What kind of power series is that?
Geometric?
Geometric. So what will be the first 4 term? Can you tell me? 1, good. What else? 4 term. It's really easy.
1/2.
No.
Hey.
It's what? What's the first 3 term? Yep. 1 plus x squared. And obviously it's gonna keep on going. Then dot 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 dot. Then there will become a summation of n equal to 0, infinity x to the n. What's my radius convergence? I mean, what's in my interval convergence? What is my interval of convergence? Which only work between which 2 values? What? -1 and 1. Remember, geometric, the common ratio has to be between -1 to 1. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing you have to know is e to the x. Very similar, but slightly different. What is the difference between 1 over 1 minus x and e to the x? This one you had to use Taylor series, right? But we already did the Taylor series. We done this in class. What is it? Well, I just give me first 4 term. 1, good. Not e to the x, no. No.
Isn't it just one?
No.
Whenever you do this.
Do you Taylor series in your head? Plug in 0. First derivative, second derivative, third derivative, fourth derivative, fifth derivative. What they all end up to be? 1. Good. What is the power series? Do you remember the power series? F of n, right? To the
X to n over n factorial.
c. F of n of c, x to the n over n factorial. So what's your next term? If you f of 1, this is Maclaurin series at center at 0, right? So what's the next term? X, good. Over what? X over what?
X over
1 factorial, thank you. Plus x2 over 2 factorial. Plus x3 over 3 factorial. Dot, dot, dot. What is that comes up to? N equal to 0, infinity is going to be what? What's the general term here? Thank you. And what's my radius convergence? What's the interval of my interval convergence? Nope.
Isn't it negative infinity to infinity?
Yep. If you do ratio test on this particular thing, you're gonna find out it's negative infinity to infinity. You guys want to do it? I don't want to do it. I've done it before.
I'll take your word for it.
No, you should do it. Guys, do you know what is sine of x? X minus
Cubed over 3 factorial.
x cubed over 3 factorial. I'm just gonna throw a quiz tomorrow. You have to memorize all this because you guys made me upset. You don't even know what a simple one here. Good.
Minus 6 is
Good. So what will be the summation of?
Minus 1 to the power of n
Good.
times x to the power of 2n plus 1 over 2n plus 1.
Are you reading your notes? Good. So what's my radius convergence here? You have to memorize this for AP exam. Some simple one you need to know. Cosine of x. Cosine of x. Think about it. Cosine graphs as at x equal to 0 start where? 1. Good. That's where you're gonna start. So your next degree is not x to the first degree because they have a skipping degree, right? So will be what? Minus. You're right. Sorry.
X to the 2
Over 2 factorial plus x to the 4 over 4 factorial minus x to the 6 over 6 factorial. This one's easier to write. It's x to the what? No. Or negative 1 to the,
2n.
but negative 1 to the power of n.
not n.
N plus 1.
No.
X to the 2n.
X to the 2n. Why is it 2n? Because they're all even. See, this is the x to the 0, x to the 2, x to the 4, x to the... You guys know how to do this. Or you can take a derivative of this.
But negative 1 to the power of n, right?
Yep.
That's literally what she was saying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Yulia. Did I just like don't hear you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm old. That's what old people do.
Not
We go like, huh? Huh? What'd you say? Now this is the thing that's interesting. What's interesting? I'm going to show you what's interesting. The interesting thing is, hey, what if I want you to manipulate a Taylor series? So this is 1 over 1 plus x. Now remember, this is 1 over 1 minus x, right? Is this, right? Now, I want this representation of it. In this representation, I want to make sure Not only that, I want to have Taylor at center x equal to 2. This is kind of difficult to understand, so I'm going to repeat a couple of times. If you don't understand, please ask me. Is that okay? So, what do you think this means?
This is center.
Center. So what it usually if I have center x equal to 2,
Taylor's
what's my parenthesis?
X minus 2.
X minus 2. Okay, so I'm going to replace this x. I'm going to color code for you. This is the x here. I'm going to replace this with x minus 2. Is that okay? Am I going too fast? So, but I cannot just replace that. I have to do something a little bit different. 1 plus, and I'm going to say x minus 2, but I change the equation. Why? You are a genius. Plus 2 minus 2. Very powerful technique, right? You do that with completed square. You do that with the integration sometimes. You do that with a lot of stuff. Now, what's going to say that's going to be, okay, well, can I simplify this?
But it will be 1 plus
Is that the same thing? Oh, minus 2. I'm so sorry. X minus 2? Is that the same thing as saying that this?
Yeah.
Now, what's our best friend? What is the best friend that you know and here that looks almost like this, but it's not this?
Geometric.
Geometric. What is geometric?
That's one over
A over 1 minus
And we're going to call this capital X. We're going to say that is a giant X.
4. The giant X.
So our goal is to make this 3 what? What do we want to make this 3 look like? How do I make it 3 is equal to 1?
Subtract 2.
No.
No.
You want to keep the back intact. Is there any other way? Divided by 3 is good. But it's another way that's saying divided by 3 is better.
Raise to the power 0.
What?
What you say? Somebody said something. Factor out 1/3.
Factor 1/3. And make it 9. This better not be. Oh, out the whole thing.
So factor out 1/3, right? So that 3 is going to change to what?
1.
Style red. So that 3 is going to change to 1 plus
3x minus 6. Yes.
plus what?
3 times x minus 2. 3x minus 6.
X minus 2 over 3. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because you distribute it, they go back to that. So x minus 2 over 3. We are almost there. What's the only thing that we are missing?
Negative sign.
Negative sign.
Oh.
So we have make this to become 1 now. So this is 1. Good. Right? But the problem is this is still a plus sign. How do I make it minus sign?
Minus times minus x.
Almost, you're not wrong, but you're almost right because we want to center at 2. So you want to keep that x minus 2 intact.
Minus minus
can I rewrite this? Is equal to 1 over third. Is that okay? 1 over 1 plus. Now this parenthesis is kind of interesting. It's going to be negative of x minus 2 over 3.
But you put
Wait, wouldn't it
one plus.
be-
Isn't it one
Yeah,
minus?
It's one x plus.
Because
Minus?
You have to get minus negative.
yeah, so I want this ratio to be negative x minus 2 plus over 3. Because if I distribute, it becomes minus because we want to make it look like this, right?
But here minus also. One minus.
Isn't it x plus 2 minus
One
x
minus
plus
minus x minus 2.
Yeah, minus. You're right.
Wait,
Where's the minus?
I'm confused.
Actually,
You're right.
Because you want to make it to minus minus that.
Okay, there we go.
So we are almost there. We are almost there. We have make the 1 over 1 minus x, right? So we say, okay. Now, let's write out the series, right? The series is going to be, well, the first term is going to be what? 1. Minus
1 over 3. Oh, plus 1 over 3.
plus a negative of x minus 2 over 3 to the first power.
Oh, okay.
You are replaced into here, right here,
but what do we do with one third?
Where's he?
right here.
Right. Wait,
Oh.
wait, what?
Wait, what? Sorry, what one third?
Door.
What?
You
The one third in front.
Yeah, one day we do that later. We haven't take care of this part yet. This part we do it later. We just focus on this particular part. Is that okay?
Jim, why does
Ooh.
X have? Because it's the series.
Because okay.
Hey.
No, because it's the derivative. It's f. F of 0.
Here I'm gonna copy this over again.
Because the 0 power
Wait,
is
is it
1.
complexing it?
Is that just
It's a-
exponentiation?
I see.
Yeah, so let's like the center is.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm gonna write this, and I'm gonna use that to support me. What is the next term is going to be?
The next term is gonna be
oh, I didn't know that.
is it gonna be plus x minus 2
You're gonna assume there's no translation.
squared over 9?
Yeah.
9, perfect. Because it's something square, right? We are plugging this one. We're plugging wherever where you have x. We're gonna use this common ratio that we're gonna plug in. We're gonna replace that.
It's kind of cool.
You wanna take a breather?
Sure.
Okay, what's the next one?
That was the brief.
I was short lived. X minus 2 cubed over 27. Wait, no.
And da 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 da. And then put a parenthesis. What do we don't forget?
1/3.
1/3. So this 1 over 1 plus x. So 1 over 1 plus x. Center at x minus 2. At 2, sorry. That was misspoke. That is gonna be like this. Now what happened is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna manipulate that into a general term. How do I manipulate into general term? Well, we know there was a summation. We know there's n equal to 0. And we know there was an infinity. The first term is a positive or negative. So it's -1 to n or -1 to n plus 1. N because you want an n equal to 0, so the first term is positive, right?
Yeah.
How about x minus 2 to the n because, well, n to the 0 is 1. All over, what's at the bottom? 3 to the n.
Then you got a 1/3 on the outside.
And then 1/3 on the outside. I'm in color code for you. First time I'm doing color code.
No, you
Oh, that's good.
Last day we're doing chain rule. Okay, so one last step. I don't like the 1/3 outside. Is there any way to bring 1/3 inside? Yep.
Oh yes. Well done.
Now here's the hard part. What did I say something wrong? Oh, 2. Sorry. I hear you, Emil. I hear you. Sorry. Now, last part. Let's figure out what's interval of convergence. This is geometric series. Geometric series, the common ratio must be between where and where? -1 and 1. Why is it -1 to 1? Look at here. It's offered right here, right?
Oh yes. Okay.
From 1 to 3.
So I'm gonna do this in different color. So find interval of convergence. So it'd be -1 less than -x minus 2 over 3 is less than 1. Yeah, because this is the ratio. This is the R right here, right? This is the R. This is the R, right?
Yeah.
Am I losing you?
No.
Are you sure? Cairo, Nathan, Zayden, Raghav, David, I don't know.
Wait,
Whoever's out there.
finding it now? But like, what is that?
Anyone on YouTube? I don't know who's watching my video. Huh?
So why are you setting up like less than 1 and greater than -1? Because like.
Because your common ratio has to be between -1 and 1 to be converged.
Then you just have to, don't you have to just test them?
Well, we have to solve for it because we don't know what x can be between which two values.
Okay. Okay.
Because that is my R.
Okay.
So how do I solve this inequality? I'm going to do a couple more steps and do more than necessary because this is important. I multiply by 3 on both sides. So that's going to be -3 less than -x minus 2 less than 1.
3.
I don't like that negative sign there.
3.
Oh, 3, thank you. So I don't like that negative sign there. So what do I do?
Negative.
So it'll be 3. Now, when you multiply a negative sign, what things change?
It should be, so it'd be x plus 2. Wait, that's already a negative. My bad.
Does that make sense?
So it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, I changed it in inequality sign. And then plus 2 on both sides. So it'd be 5 greater than x greater than -1. So it'd be -1 less than x less than 5. So that will be the interval because anything within is gonna give you radius. Ratio. No, because you're not defined at a 1 because R cannot be -1. This is given by this part because this is geometric series.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to since you already.
Yeah, in this case, we are using it geometric to do it. Okay, you guys gonna try one?
Before we check. Now
Because right now we still check. We check differently. We check it due to common ratio. The common ratio has to be -1 to 1 because now we're talking about geometric series. Okay, so f of x, I'm gonna make it easy for you. I'm gonna say center at 0. And you also need to find a interval convergence. Yeah, so excited.
Interval of convergence.
What does this equation look like? Huh?
for this
No, I want you to find Taylor series. I want you to find power series. I'm sorry, power series of this. Not using Taylor series because Taylor series you gotta take 4 derivative or 5 derivative. You can do that too, but it's not recommended because this is more closer to geometric, right? So you gotta use this to find geometric. You don't need a ratio test here. You need to use your best friend.
Your best friend, bro.
I'm gonna write down your best friend. This is geometric series. Your best friend is right here.
Oh, what?
Best friend.
Crazy. Okay.
Best friend.
This is fairly easy, so I'm not giving you something that is out of range. That one is actually way harder than this one. Way harder. The previous one's way harder than this one.
Harder?
Yeah.
So the last one we did was harder.
I swear. I might have to go back to TCAB.
Oh, yo. Oh.
Chat.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you should start saying stop it. You actually strain.
When do you say that though? Like when's the proper?
Never.
People just
When
say,
you want to, like, or it's time to get a dub. Is there no bell? Or is there a Justin bell? There's a Justin bell. No, I can fill it out.
Maybe 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes is enough to find this.
Yeah, but we're almost there.
What's that?
Wait, I'm actually on something.
I didn't know today is short day. Hang the butt.
And tomorrow's also a short day.
Yeah. And that's like the most important thing here too. And like half the people is not here. Thanks to Davis. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Taking on my student on the most important day.
Did I just watch? You said find the
And
Or-
find what?
that
Find-
what? Interval convergence.
Find,
Find interval convergence.
from negative to 2. Mister, is it from negative 2 to 2? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay.
She's right. So what's your power series though?
2 times summation from n to n equals 0 to infinity.
No, what's your power series?
Negative 1 to the power of n times
N equal to 0, infinity. What will be your thing?
negative 1 to the power of n times
No, your R is wrong. What's your R?
negative x over 2.
Negative x over 2 is correct, so it'll be negative x over 2. To the which power? Okay, so something is in the front. What is it?
Negative 1 to the power.
You already have this here.
2.
2. Why do I make it as x as 1, right? because if I take out, so let's just say that's a 4/2 plus x, right? If I take out a 2, what will happen? If I take out 1/2, what will happen? Is equal to 2, right? And this is 1 plus x, right?
What? Wait,
No, that's
No.
cap. That's cap.
No, it's
You
actually
can't do that
two.
cheating.
No, you just have to.
it's x over 2.
It's cheating, bro.
Because
X
x,
over 2.
X over 2. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, x
Wait,
over 2.
Wait, but don't you need another?
And you have just 2.
You
You
can't.
don't-
No, I this is 4 and then cancel out as 2.
Okay,
So this is
Yeah,
this is 4.
So just 2.
No, we're not.
And then now it's cancel out 2 and then 1 plus x over 2, right? But you want this to be negative, right? You want this to be negative, so this must be what? 2 over 1 minus negative x over 2. So that is going to be x to the negative 2. Now, negative x over 2 must be between negative 1 and 1. And that's going to be negative 2 less than negative x less than 2. And then 2 greater than x greater than negative 2.
okay.
So negative 2 less than x less than 2. So that's going to be this. I want to do, wait, how much time I have?
We have no time.
Yeah, but it's- I didn't have this. Why'd you put two? Okay, but what about the 1/2 then? Forgot about the 1/2. And here, it's 1/2 for her.
2 is right here.
And you did that one to be a 1, right? That's what I wanted.
You know, we-
I wrote it like that. Oh, well, I wrote -1.
That's how I did it. Well, I guess.
The 2 is just the first round.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll be back. I just have to drop my friend off at his house.
Who's your friend?
Friend, his name is Nick. Oh.
Grande?
No, not Grande. Different one? Yeah. Yes. Oh, wow.
Where you been, sir?
Where you been?
Yesterday I had like so I didn't like sleep the entire last week. Like at all. I didn't have so much sleep.
in front of
And
us.
I got
How come you look bigger? You look bigger.
I look weird.
No, you look thinner, but like more built.
I think it might be the cut.
The cut? You still on the cut?
No, the haircut.
The haircut? Oh. I thought you were cutting the weight.
No, sorry.
We did a FRQ yesterday.
We did 2 FRQ on homework.
Oh, yeah.
You okay? You tired? From grading? Is the result good or bad? Anybody below 50? A lot?
Maybe like a third.
A third? Oh my
Probably not.
god. Oh no, man. The second time still a third, that's bad.
wish I was a bum. And I just like became a factory worker, so I didn't have to like do anything.
You know what's crazy when you speak of that? I was watching the 60-minute documentary about how the illegal immigrants come to the United States. Like originally, I'm not really like anti-immigration, but now I kind of feel like I'm a little bit anti-immigration because they just putting a lot of people into the state. Like even Democrat now is all becoming anti-immigration because they're trying to pass a bill, trying to do things. But yeah, like all the factory, you were speaking of a factory worker, right? So the factory worker in China. So right now, the number one people like coming illegal immigrant across the Mexican border is not anybody else. It's actually Chinese people. Believe it or not, because Xi Jinping like is ruining the whole country. I'm streaming. I cannot go back to China anymore. I'm gonna get arrested when I go back to China this summer. So what's crazy is it's actually a lot of like number one, it's not Mexicans, it's not Ecuadorian, it's Chinese people. They migrate to across like they find on TikTok that there's a hole in the fence in this specific place and cartel will drop you out here. All you gotta do is pay $500 per person. So they will fly to Ecuador and they will fly to New Mexico, and they will get those cartel to drop them off and they'll come in. It's on 60 Minutes. You saw that? Yeah.
That was interesting.
It was interesting. It's all Chinese people actually,
And they had a video.
and they all factory workers, like you said. Like you wish that you were a factory worker. That's the only thing I was telling you about. Is all those factory workers everywhere else in the world. They try to come to the United States, and they will do anything. They risk their life because some cartel will, no, maybe like sell the kidney and stuff like that. Or you don't even know, but yeah, it was really interesting. Like when you mentioned factory workers, and there's people from India too, Bengali, whatever. It's all from. There was a group of people is actually from India, and they use the Indian people to call the police. Why? That group of people will call police and they will seek asylum, right? And they will have them keep on calling. Cartel will tell them to keep on calling. So all the border control will go over there, but on the other side, just people smuggling all the drugs. On the other hole. So they were like, they can't.
No.
It's like,
You weren't even.
but yeah, it's crazy. It's like, it's on 60 Minutes. I was watching. I was like, oh wow. And I watching the other guys, Peter something.
She did that TikTok. No, I just want to be a factory worker. Like I get instructions. That's all. That's all I have.
Show up to school. Treat this as a factory. This is our factory.
No, but like in a factory, you don't have to think. They just tell you what to do, and then you have to do it. Like, that's the type of work I'm looking for. Not like free thinking.
So you want to go work at McDonald's?
Yeah, that might be the move.
Like Waffle House. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, this year, have you ever been to Waffle House again? Right?
Yeah.
Be the most devious stuff about it.
No, the funny thing is that in Georgia, that's the only thing they have on every exit. Yeah, and I used to go to fencing competition to compete, like fencing tournament, and we'll go into Birmingham. And we'll drive to Birmingham. Like every time we stop, we had to stop by the Waffle House. So we stopped by 6 Waffle House on the way there and 6 Waffle House on the way back. Because my coach loves Waffle House. I don't know why. He's like, we have to stop by Waffle House, get a coffee, or doing something. Huh? They got some good food.
Like that Texas.
I mean, like,
Texas. I forgot what it's called. It's like a
I
Texas
like it.
milk.
No, I
That's
love
a good one.
I lost like $20.
It's so greasy
and
though.
I made like I
How
made
to feel there is real
You know, if you go there and you get anything with an egg, you can add another egg. Like for Billy cents.
and I lost
Each
like
egg.
Okay.
I lost like
And you can get like 8 eggs in
$50,
there. Like $4.
and then like I was down like 40.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about something that's kind of complicated. Where's Jared?
What did I miss yesterday?
Yesterday we just went over AP exam question, FRQ.
Is there a video?
No, but you should be able to catch up. But you're supposed to do yesterday's homework. If you understand yesterday's homework, then you should understand
The one with
2 FRQs.
yeah, I saw the one with what is it called? The one with the soul cube.
Yeah, there's a one. There's a one still here, but it's Euler's method.
I'll watch the pad again.
It's interesting, right? It's a power series with a binomial theorem.
That's the, I think there's one thing that was specific, but I like how he did it from 0 to 1/2, like to like make it way easier to do. He said it was like pi over 12 plus. That was really cool, man. Very cool video.
Oh yeah, integration.
Crazy.
Integration between 0 to pi is the unit circle. With,
Yeah. But like to cut
Pi
down
over
and
4?
make it faster is he did it from 0 to 1/2. And because it was 1/2 would make it like converge quicker.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I doubt that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you guys did a homework. There's 2 questions, and those 2 questions you're gonna see on AP exam.
It's definitely gonna be on it, or like maybe.
It's Taylor series is 100%. Yeah. Other things, Euler's method is also 100%. So I only ask you to do the 100% questions that will be on AP exam.
And is it usually FRQ? Or
Like
for Taylor and
the first
Euler? Shit.
Mhm.
Is it usually like that for FRQ? Like Euler and Taylor series?
All right, so yeah, it's only Taylor series, and
I don't know why I'm like part B or C in those.
Yeah.
I want to see if I probably understand the radius.
I'll show you here. So this is one of the questions if you did them, but if you didn't do them, you're gonna I think you'll regret it because this is 100% questions of all the homework. This is really important. This is what's gonna be on the things. You should be going from here and you should draw it like this for the first part. And that's what 1 point. That's the easiest point. The way I kind of think of a student is like think of your boat and just float along the slope field. And that's pretty much it. And there's another point that's going to go from here to here. However, this one's the initial condition because that's going to help you out to do part D. Now, you should practice Euler's method because Euler's method is worth 2 points. That's 2 easy points as equation of tangent line. Reba, put your phone away. Get your iPad out.
It's a good point. My iPad is charging away.
Okay, so, and there's the Euler's method. You should know how to do Euler's method because Euler's method will always going to be on the test. And then you want to take a first derivative. Well, they already give you first derivative. And you want to plug in 0. And you want to plug in f double prime of the derivative. Plug in there. You will get Taylor series because you got initial condition. And you got f prime of 0 here over 1 factorial. And you got f prime of 2. Oh, f prime of 0. F double prime of 0 at the value here. Then you're going to get 5 over 4. And eventually you can plug in 1. You can approximate a value. So anybody should get easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 points. This is actually the last one. It's not hard to get too. Between 6 to 8. Basic is from here. Go down. If you graph it, there's an asymptote right here. You can tell they all have zero slope here. There was a horizontal asymptote, so it's gonna be like this. So it'll be between 8 to 6, and this is like easy 9 points.
If you go into the BC exam with no like BC knowledge, just AB, what score would you get?
Really high school or
Or if you're like really good at AB?
Yeah, but the problem is you're not very good at AB.
I'm good at that shit.
You got a 4.
Throw it right. I mean, it's better than a 3.
You didn't get a 5.
I'm asking like yeah, for friend hypothetically.
Rebuff. Get a 5.
you guys need what first question?
Alright.
Or you need to know BC content to do the BC exam. So.
It's not even that bad. Just take your first derivative, second derivative, third derivative. Plug in x to the first, x to the second, x to the third, over 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial. How hard that be?
Euler's method, like you didn't know anything about BC, so Euler's method.
Euler's method is algebra 1.
Yeah,
It's
but
the equation tension line
but
twice.
People don't know how to use Euler's method. Like if you come into like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like it's people that's not in BC. That's what I'm asking. Like if you were just like an AB and you just took BC.
I can teach them 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, equation tension line. So they know how to find the equation tension line, right? All they gotta do is break that interval to half because they do 2 steps. And you use the first point to find out the midpoint, and use the midpoint to find out the last point. And that's it. That's if you calc 1.
You think-
Okay, last year, let's just put it this way. Matthew Sheldon, Daniel, and Anthony probably give me 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We will get the BC done. Maybe 5 weeks. Maybe 5 weeks.
What
We'll
about-
probably get BC done, huh? Kevin's my boy. I'm not gonna. I like Kevin. Kevin's a good guy. He's trying. I know he can be frustrated at times, but you guys giving too much shit.
No, we give him the right time. I have to play volleyball with him all season.
Dude, Kevin is fun.
He told me that you were in the. He told me that's what happened. Or tryout, he's in the better court and you're not in the better court, and you moved to the better court. That's what he told me.
He actually said that?
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you what actually happened. All right. So basically, we had 2 nets. One of them was slightly higher. Couldn't get the other one at the right level. So the coach at the beginning of the tryouts split the freshman and the sophomore over to one side, and the juniors and the seniors on the court with the higher net. Right. I'm a junior, so obviously I was on the same court as him. And then he asked for all the setters, and then we went to the middle, and there were 5 of us. So he just split half of the setters to each court, and then we switched. That's it. It was half the time was up, so we switched courts. It wasn't I got moved from the worst court to the better court. It was I started with the sophomores. And then after halfway through,
No, I knew there's a hole in the story. I knew there's a hole in the story. I was like, no way. I think Jared's much more athletic than you
No,
are.
and either way, when he told, if he told that story, that's still a compliment to me because he's saying I started on the worst court and then got switched to the better court, which is still a good thing. But that's just not what happened.
We went to the opposite part.
All the juniors were on that side, and he's a junior, so he stayed on that side. It didn't have anything to do with how good he was. There were sophomores that are better than some of the juniors. Problem. Yeah. Good to see you.
Oh, Nathan. Well,
All right, so this is one of them. I'm gonna show you the second one. If you did your work, 2012.
AB.
Oh no, this is BC. The OE exam, they actually have more questions that's on Taylor series. For example, this test has 2 Taylor series. I have a Taylor series here because they give you f prime, and f double prime. And they say write a second degree Taylor polynomial for f at x equal to 1. Use Taylor series to approximate 1.4. And this is something that I didn't assign, but it's on this question. And look at the Euler's method, it happened again. So one of the two things that common denominator between all the BC exam is you have to know your Euler's method, you have to know your second degree polynomial, or second degree or third degree Taylor polynomial. But this is something we did last year. It's not a big deal. Now this is the last one here. I'm gonna look at scoring guideline here. Scoring guideline for this particular stuff. And today's stuff is gonna be hard, so you guys gotta pay attention. So this is you gotta be able to do ratio tests. That's easy, 5 points. 5 points. Just do ratio tests. Find out where's the converge. Well, you know that x has to be between -1 to 1. And that's gonna be your converge interval. So look at it. If you set up ratio, you don't even have to solve it. You get 1 point. Anybody can get that point. Just take the n plus 1 over n. Like Rebuff can get that point.
I can do
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear. Compute the limit of a ratio, which is you find out as eventually when n approaches infinity, it's going to be x squared. Rebuff can do that, right? You got this? Not necessary? Okay. All right, so you want to do it between -1 to 1, and you want to test the endpoint. So easy 5 points. This one just the next term, which is not a big deal. C, you just take a derivative of this part. Take a derivative of this. You can take a derivative just by taking the 2n plus 1, put in the front, and this become x to the 2n, so it'll be 2n plus 1 over 2n plus 3 times x to the 2n. And that's the general form right here. 1 point for general form, 1 point for first 3 terms. I can take a derivative of the first 3 terms. This is easier than Calc 1. Take a derivative of x over 3. Take a derivative of x cubed over 5. Take a derivative of x5 over 7. And there we go. I think that this BC test is not as bad as people think. I feel like it has less math than Calc 1. So Rebuff, how about earn some point in Calc 2 instead of just worry about using your Calc 1 skill?
I just wanted to know if it was possible to pass.
Is it possible? Actually, if you're good at Calc 1, you can pass it without knowing Calc 2. But that's not the point. The point is I need you to know the knowledge.
Dude, I'm so tired. Bro. I just
You're gonna regret that. No man.
I went. I was like pushing myself like hard. Be good at every single thing I was in. You know, like water polo, school, everything. I went through like an entire case of like this energy drink thing that I bought. And I drank like a bunch of like other energy drinks, and then like Monday came around, and I woke up, I went to my mom, I was like crying, I was like, please release me.
Release you? What does that mean?
I can't do this anymore. I just want to be a bum.
Wait, that's the point, like, bro, how government makes you like that? Do you actually?
Dude, I'm so tired.
Like, when I say government classes, like, it hurts me.
I'm tired of all of them, bro.
It's so boring.
All right. We got a lot of things to do. So I need you to write down notes.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna find out. You see that fight? You saw that? It's going. You gotta take the dip. Oh.
All right. I'm gonna give you an easy quiz tomorrow. This easy quiz is gonna be asking like 5 series I need you, 5 power series I need you to know. That's the only thing I'm asking you. It's not hard. So can you tell me what is the power series of this? At least first 5 terms, at least first 4 terms. First 4 terms of this. We did this before.
Oh, isn't this
It's like over x to the it's 1.
Mm-hmm. 1 plus x plus
X squared.
x squared. This is just a power series.
Oh, just multiply by x each time.
Yeah, multiply by x each time because this is a common ratio. This is your r. Right? So plus x to the third plus dot 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 summation x to the n equal to 0, infinity, and that's it. But only work at which 2 values?
Negative 1 over 1.
Why?
Because radius of convergence. And yeah, because the rate can't be more than 1.
Ratio has to be absolute value of ratio has to be less than 1, right? Absolute value r has to be less than 1 because that is the geometric series. This one very important. We're going to learn how to manipulate this. The second one is e to the x. The second one is e to the x equal to, well, what's the power series of e to the x? Yep. Okay, so that's good. But can you tell me first 5 terms?
1 plus x plus x squared over 2 factorial. X cubed over 3.
And that's going to be summation of n equal to 0, infinity, x to the n factorial. From the negative infinity to infinity. Is that okay? Because it worked all the way through. Do you know the third one? Sine of x. How to graph sine of x first. In the middle was what? What?
Wait, no, 0. Wait, so center? So is that what you're trying?
Yeah, a center it looks like a what?
What was x minus 1?
Just x. Why is it just x? Remember that graph of sine of x? Sine of x is like this, right? But in the middle part here, this point is look like x. It looked like x. So you see that that's the first thing that you had to match. So the x has to be in the middle. Now the next one is going to be what? Plus the next term is what?
Negative x cubed over 3 factorial.
Yes, I do forgot the negative sign. You're right. Negative x cubed over 3 factorial.
Yeah.
Plus x to the 5 over 5 factorial.
Yeah.
Minus x to the 7 over 7 factorial. So that is going to be summation of n equal to 0, infinity of negative 1 to the n times x to the which power? 2m minus 1. It should be 2m minus 1 or plus 1. Think about it. What happened if n equal to 0?
Yeah, so 2n plus
2m plus 1. So it'd be 2m plus 1
Oh yeah.
factorial. So think about what x equal to 0 term because that's your first term. And your first term you want an x.
Wait, n equal to 0 is first term or 0?
N equal to 0 is going to be your first term. It's going to be your x.
But so, okay, so if I ask for the second term of that series,
Then
you would plug 1 in for n?
for sine or for e to the x? Second non-zero term is here.
You have to plug in.
Second non-zero term or the third degrees.
So like if they ask me for like any given term, I would plug in n minus 1.
You'll plug in n equal to 0 first.
But like if I ask for like the fifth,
They will ask you two ways. They will ask you find the first 4 non-zero, but those non-zero is the actual term. Like if first term is 1, second term is x, third term is x squared. First 3 non-zero term is those three terms.
Oh wait, would it ever happen where you got like 1, then maybe like 0 in the middle, the 2 or something like that?
Yeah, so in trig, all the sine of x or tangent of x have a skipping degrees. So they will ask you either two ways. So two way to stop here, they will say third degree Taylor polynomial. Then that's going to be the third degree. They can also say the same thing, say second non-zero term. So this is going to be second non-zero term. Somebody's over there. Can you open the door? I don't know who that is. I cannot see that far. What? What are you doing here?
did you win?
Nah. Biomedical?
We should have, bro. It's rigged. So.
He beat you.
We're in the same team, bro.
All right. So the next thing is don't bother my class.
What?
Don't bother my class. All right. So the next thing is cosine of x. Where to start? Think about cosine graph start where?
Just one.
1, right? So think about this. If you don't know how to start, think about a graph. Right? This graph here is the x. This graph is the peak. So you start here is 1. Is that okay? So that's easier to remember. But 1, your next degree is going to be what? Second degree. Is that because they all have skipping degrees? So that's 1 minus x squared over 2 factorial plus x to the 4 over 4 factorial minus x to the 6 over 6 factorial dot summation n equal to 0 infinity -1 to the n. What is the first x to which power? 2n. Good job. Over what's the bottom? 2n factorial. So we know e to the x. We know 1 of x. We know sine of x. We know cosine of x. We know all those things. So we're going to try it. So here's the first question. The first question is, do you see this one is 1 over 1 minus x? Hey, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to find Taylor's series center at x equal to 2. So find the power series. So power series of 1 over 1 plus x at center x equal to 2. Yep, not minus x.
Power series.
This is kind of hard to understand. Not here. A lot of people have asked questions, and it's kind of tricky that you had to play a lot of manipulation.
They don't say this.
No. I'm gonna have to guide you here, unfortunately.
Would it be 1?
Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
You came and solved that question in 2 minutes today.
I did it in 5 minutes.
So the rate is negative.
That was a calc 1. Actually, that's you take it shorter than Nathan.
And what?
The one with natural log of x. F of a u.
Oh,
F-
that one, no, but Jay, I would actually, it's gonna be like really quick, right? It's gonna be like, alright, you know, Jared was quicker, it's gonna be like AB. And then like, even before you send the tip, I already had that down. But I was so confused because I didn't know what to do for like the F of U when I got there. And I finally, after like 2 minutes, I looked at the problem, and I was like right there, I was like, oh.
Take you a minute. That's 3 minutes longer than Jared.
Wait, can I give a guess? Or I'll try. Would it be
Sure.
1 over parentheses x minus 2 plus x minus 2 squared minus x minus 2 cubed? It just goes like that? Maybe.
Wait, say that again.
So 1 minus x minus 2 in parentheses plus x minus 2 squared minus x minus 2 cubed?
No. No, that's okay. That's okay. This is not easy.
Because the rate would be negative x,
The problem is they center at 0, so I'm gonna circle this part. This part means what? What's the parenthesis? X equal to 2, what's mean? The factor is gonna be what? Good, x minus 2. So I'm gonna replace this. Right, I'm gonna replace this with 1 over 1 plus x plus 2. But the problem of that is I alter the equation. So I replace this, replace x with x plus 2. How do I get back to before? I must do what? Minus 2 outside. Does that make sense? And then I can change that to oh sorry, this is minus 2. This is x minus 2. This is plus 2 here, right? My fault. So that's gonna be 3 plus x minus 2. Is that okay? I just replace that. I'm gonna introduce Reba, wake up. So this one here, 1 over 3 plus x minus 2, I want to make look like a geometric series. What is a geometric series? A1 over 1 minus r. Now the problem of this is wrong, and as well as this is wrong sign. This is supposed to be 1, but it's supposed to be 1. So how do I make that 3 become 1? No.
Also, why should you? How do you just replace the x with x plus 2?
X minus 2.
X minus
Oh,
2.
yeah. I have to replace the x minus 2 and I add add 2 in the back. But this is really look almost like geometric series, but it's not. But this is 3 here and there's a plus sign here. There's a 2 problem here. I need to take care of that. What I can do is I can make that 3 by factoring out a third.
Oh, so we have 1/3 over there.
Okay, and then I put a parenthesis, 1 over 1/3. Sorry, not 1/3. It's 1 plus x minus 2. Parenthesis right here. That one, oh, almost over something. Over what? Over 3, right? So, but the problem is the plus sign.
Could it just be a negative or anything? Like if you're adding to it.
Yeah, so you want to, if I want to change this to become negative, I must change this whole quantity to become negative as well. So that's equal to 1/3, and then this is 1 over 1 minus. Now I don't want to put negative x plus 2. Why I don't want to put negative x plus 2?
Because it's gonna like it's gonna square.
No, because my power series is x minus c, not negative x plus c, right? Because my center is going to be x minus 2. My center is at 2. My factor is going to be like this. So you want to double negative here. The reason why is this one's going to be negative of x minus 2 over 3, and you replace the r with this. Is that okay? This is negative, so it's plus, yeah. And I'm gonna close the parenthesis here. So this is the new r, And this is a geometric series. So guess what? With this, I can say power series of 1 over 1 plus x, center at x equal to 2. It's equate to, well, I'm just going to write out first few terms. 1. What do I mean by this? Is, remember this? I'm going to plug in this into all the things here. I'm going to plug in that into there. Is that okay? So it's going to be 1 plus, well, that's going to be negative x minus 2 over 3 to the first power plus negative x minus 2 to the 3 to the second power plus negative x minus 2 to the third over third power, dot, 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 dot. I can write it out. I'm missing something. I think you guys know it.
1/3.
Yeah, I'm missing 1/3. This one's plus. This one's minus. And I'm missing a 1/3 in the front. Is that okay? So can I write that in power series? A general term in this. What is the general term? The first term is positive, so it's going to be negative 1 to what? N. Okay. Well, what is the first power series? First power series? X minus 2 to the what?
Just then.
Just to the n? Over what?
3 to that.
3 to the n. And 1 over 3. But I can make that 1 over 3 inside as well. How do I make that inside as well?
3 to
Perfect. You just find a Taylor series,
Actually, since you're
a plus 1.
Yeah.
You find the Taylor series at x equal to 2. We are not done yet. How do you find interval of convergence?
ratios it?
Nah. Much easier than ratio tests. I mean, I can do ratio tests, but I will probably prefer to do different alternative method.
Yeah.
What is this series that's converged between where to where?
I'm trying to understand, like, so would it be like when if negative x minus 3 over 3 is less than 1? Then you
Almost.
set it up like,
Yeah, almost. It's absolute value though. So
wait, okay. So after that, yeah, you said it.
so x so the ratio is what? Negative of x minus 2 of 3, right?
Yeah.
Is less than negative, is greater than negative 1, less than 1, because it has to be between those values. Because remember, this is a common ratio. If the common ratio is less than 1, absolute value common ratio is less than 1, because the absolute value can set negative 1 to positive 1. I can multiply both sides by 3. And I can divide both sides by negative, so negative 3, changing the inequality sign. And I just try to show you step by step. Usually I don't do that. Negative 3, and I'm going to add 2 on both. So that's gonna be 1 greater than x greater than or less than
5.
negative. Wait, hold on a second. Something is wrong. They both at
It should be a positive.
One was negative.
here, so it's 5, right? So it's gonna be x less than negative 1, but so it's negative 1 less than x less than 5. So it's gonna be between negative 1 to 5. Now, why I don't need to test endpoints? Because geometric is not converge if r is equal to 1. So I don't have to do that in this particular situations.
It should be 1 to 5. It's not like
Oh, it's 1 to 5. My bad.
Oh, I thought it was negative 5.
Wait, it's negative 1 to 5. It's negative 1.
listen. Oh shoot, yeah.
So I don't.
No.
So is the center at 2? Yeah, because wait, center is at 2. So 2 to 5 is 3, and 2 to negative 1. That's also another way to double check, right? So 2 to 5 is 3, and 2 to negative 1 is also 3. So radius convergence is 3. Interval convergence is negative 1 to 5. So this will work for negative 1 to 5 if you have center at x equal to 2. Pretty interesting question, right?
Is there a bracket on one of them?
Nope. Why do you think you need a bracket?
Because one of them is all.
Which one is alternating?
One gets positive 5. Or would it be greater on top or short?
5 minus 2 is 3. 3, so it'll be 3n on the bottom. And negative 1n.
No, because so if you plug in negative 1, you have negative 1 to the n times negative 1. So they can kind of cancel each other out.
You have negative 1 to the n times.
So it
Sorry, negative
3. It's on the bottom, not 3 to the n, it's 3.
Then you have what, negative 3 to the n over 3 to the n plus 1.
So on the bottom it's gonna be 3, right?
Which would just be 1/3 or negative. It would be, yeah, wouldn't it be?
But it's oscillating between negative 1 to positive 1. And you can take out 1/3 in the front, so that inside still diverge. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's diverge. Okay, so we stop here and we say, hey, can you try one problem? So can we say, hey, can you write a power series of this one? Now you know how to do it pretty easily. Now I'll just give you something center at 0. And that's pretty easy. Too easy? Okay, I'll give you a harder one.
Scroll up. Can you scroll up a little? Like a little more.
Go back.
Yeah. All right. You guys done? Did you find a interval convergence also? Want to show pair again? Yeah. I hate this infrastructure intro. So I want to make it look like some type of a over 1 minus r. So 4 over 2 plus x first. I want to make this 2 as 1. So it will be 1/2. And this one is going to be 1 plus x4. Is that okay? Cancel out, that's 2. So 2 over 1 plus x. This is over 2, sorry. Is that okay? The problem is sign. So it'll be 2 over 1 minus negative x over 2. I just turned to power zeros. So that's summation, n equal to 0, infinity. What's the first term? Negative x over 2 to the n. Radius of convergence is going to be turned -1 to 1.
Yeah.
And so x is going to be from -2 to 2. That is going to be a radius of convergence. If I solve what?
This one makes sense, but I still don't get the first one where you plugged in x minus whatever for x minus the center. Like, how do you do that?
If you plug in -1?
Like, go back to the first problem.
This is the first problem.
Center down. X, 1 plus x, that's center x equals 2. How do you just plug in x minus 2 for x?
You add 2 afterwards, so it's enough.
So then,
So I'm still using the same equations, 1 over 1 plus x. Just change the center to x.
No. But you got 2 and 2 to 3.
so you need the center to be like in the parentheses for x.
Yeah, but you also have to, in the condition of not changing the equation at all.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to do 1 over x.
Wait, monsieur, in the first one you expanded, right? In the second one you combined one. You combine the negative, is that what you're saying? Yeah, like so for the second one you have like all of the end. I don't think it matters. Yeah, it doesn't. It would just be 2 times -1 to the x.
You can split it up for if you will.
Also, why can't you just do why can't you just do a Taylor series like you normally would, like take the derivative, find the nth derivative?
Yeah, but which was easier though?
Well, because I did that at first. I don't know if I did something wrong or like hello. Because I took the first 2, and then from that I thought that if the